Ladies and gentlemen, let's again. So, on the video, we're going to be taking a look at Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PC. Of course, I'll be focusing on the graphics options of the title. Now, these are not necessarily the settings we're running in the video. I'm going to assume that Amy, when she's going to be taking you through the first impressions, is going to run everything at the maximum settings. In fact, well, of course she will be. But for the moment, we're going to be showing you problems. We're going to be using one of our test GPUs, which is a GTX 780 Ti for this, to demonstrate problems with less than 4 GB of VRAM. So, at the moment, we're just under the VRAM limit. You'll notice that, of course, we've got it right there. 3053 megabytes of RAM, which is just under the limit, right? Not too bad. Well, there's a reason for that. So, as I said, these are not necessarily the settings that you're going to be able to run if you have a card like this. For example, turning on MSAA is quickly going to gobble up a ridiculous amount of VRAM. VRAM in this game is used real quick, particularly through population density, variety, which once again, obviously that's loading in different textures, models, characters and so on. And also, texture quality has a rather massive impact, as one would expect. As it turns out, very high to high, not too much of a difference. Normal, on the other hand, to high is basically 1 GB. Shader quality, some of this stuff doesn't make too much difference at all. Obviously, you're going to be scuffing up the settings a little bit, so don't worry about that. Reflection quality, you know, a little difference, but not super duper amounts. And obviously reflection MSAA and all of the other bits and bobs, not too much of a difference at all. The real problem, as I said, is textures. Now, you can't actually, if I was to try and save this, for example, right now we're at 3.1 gigs, you can't actually apply this. It's going to come up with a warning and say, hey, you know, you just don't have the RAM. Now, the reason I'm pointing this out in rather painstaking detail is I've had people say to me, hey, how will the game run, or, you know, can I even run the damn game at maximum settings if I have X GPU? The bottom line is you're going to be able to do a fairly good job of running the game and making it look pretty nice, but you're going to have problems when it comes to turning everything up to the max, particularly textures. Shadows as well are extremely taxing. You can see the massive difference in shadow quality right there. So, yes, you'll be able to run the game and make it look rather beautiful, but if you have a GPU, particularly if you're trying to run at high resolutions, bear in mind, we're only demonstrating this at 1080p. If you're trying to do this at, let's say, 1440p or higher, and you want everything at max, even if you've got a decent SLI rig, so for example, let's say you're running a GTX 780 Ti SLI, or a GTX 780 SLI, or just, you know, anything around those lines, although technically you'll have the actual shading power to do it, you might not be able to run the game at the resolution simply because, of course, of the way memory works over Crossfire or SLI currently. Obviously it may change with DirectX 12 as we've heard those rumours, but it's just something to bear in mind that this game is going to be very VRAM intensive indeed, which is something we did see a little bit in, let's say, GTA 4 even. It was also very VRAM intensive, and of course GTA 4 really started to push the shading, the CPU cores as well. This is back when quad-core wasn't really that common on desktops, and a lot of folks were running something like E8400 because it was highly overclockable, but the two cores just didn't really do the game justice. Finally, before I pass you over to Amy, I will also point out, of course, we will be doing full analysis on this, but it does look quite nice. You just have to bear in mind that if you are someone who wants everything at the absolute max, simply because this is an open world game, you're dealing with a large variety of different textures, different character models, and all of the other bits and bobs, of course, that go into making, you know, the world, it's going to hammer VRAM. So that's just something to bear in mind. And obviously things such as population and distance and all of that also have quite a bit of impact on various aspects of the components on your system. So, you know, just remember that. Anyway, I'm going to pass you over to Amy.
Hello and welcome to GTA 5 on the PC. I know it's been a long wait, but we are finally here. And of course we're going to be beginning by changing into some new outfits. Yeah, I like the black hoodie. Let's go with that. Alright, so... Okie dokie, I'll leave you to that. Yeah, so... Oh, hello.
Franklin! Hey, what's going down, huh? The market, my boy. Alright, dog. I'll be around when I get a chance.
Alright, as I was saying, before I was so really interrupted, this is going to be a brief early first impressions on the game itself and PC specific things. Of course, you know, this is the PC version. We're mostly going to be talking about the PC port because obviously we have covered GTA 5 on numerous versions now, and obviously I think most of you know whether or not you're interested in this as a game. The graphics options are pretty solid, to be honest with you. I posted an article a couple of days ago detailing the options, so I suggest you take a look at those, but it's pretty much everything you'd expect and what's actually pretty handy. And I'll say this as I'm heading towards my car here, is that it actually has a little meter right at the top that shows you how much video RAM you're actually using with all the options you have selected, and it obviously will have all of your available VRAM on display. So say for example 2 gig out of 3 gig video RAM, just for pure example. So it really makes tweaking your options that much easier. Excuse me fellas, don't mind me. And actually finding a setup that runs great for your machine. Overall the options are pretty damn solid, nothing really missing that I can think of, to be honest. As I said, the VRAM feature is really nice. The only thing I will say about the PC version is it is very much a resource hog. With everything at max, it uses over 3 gigabytes of VRAM. So you're going to need a pretty beefy card to actually run this with all the bells and whistles enabled. So do just keep that in mind if you weren't sure about the PC version. Or just accept that you're not going to be able to run it at complete maximum. I do mean like population density and all that sort of stuff included. So, excuse me, just keep that in mind. Overall though, the game runs pretty damn solid. We, of course, did a little bit of testing yesterday. You might have seen my brief graphics comparison teaser that I did. I'll continue in a second.
So good. Old me. Yeah, look, man. Look, we've been working together for about a few months now, right? Which is why I am very honored to announce to you that you are Employee of the Month. Huh? Anyway, congratulations. Wasn't easy picking a winner. Yeah, me, Lamar, your nephew Sacha with the Twitch. Look, man, it's been a real honor, homie. But I gotta move forward in my life. It seems like all I do is that people tell me what to do and I do it and nothing changed. Tell you what, my friend. You tell me exactly what you want and I will very carefully explain to you why it cannot be. What? Today is
hey, screw you, Simeon.
Vehicles that fools have purchased at exorbitant interest rates. But tomorrow, together, I never had a black son. But if I did,
Simeon, man, you can't just say that.
Hello, Lamar. What's up, dog? Franklin here has been awarded Employee of the Month.
Me become frightened.
Man, we both being fucked with, dog.
Man, knock it off, man. For real, after all the motherfucking work I put in, man.
Man, fuck this Employee of the Month shit, homie. I'm sitting up here trying
What
to
you
get
mean, fuck this Employee of the Month shit, man? When there's some shit to be won, goddammit, I want it. I don't give a fuck what it is. You know what I'm talking about? I take no prisoners. I go hard doing this shit. Big dog, big nuts. When names is on the motherfucking board, I want to see my name at the top of that motherfucking next to it. It needs to say winner.
maybe next month, huh?
Man, fuck next month, Simeon. What about today? I demand a retrial.
Today is nothing. Just a bike. Hasn't made a payment at all. Some kid at Vespucci Beach. His name is Esteban Jimenez. Is he in a gang?
Pardon me.
Curiously enough, I did not inquire when he bought the bike.
We got work to do, Employee of the Month.
Lamar, this is just me, but you seem rather salty.
What we waiting for? Magellan Ave, nigga. Vespucci Beach. And you still rolling with that old raggedy ass hair? That country bumpkin shit is enough to get us shot right there. I never took you to
As I was saying, the port seems pretty damn solid. Now, there are reports of some installation issues and a few other bugs. I suggest you check out my video that I did the other day. I'll link it in the description, as well as the article that goes through the graphics options. We will do a full breakdown of the graphics options, obviously, but this isn't about that.
Girl Scout. In your case, I ain't so sure about that.
Anyway, as I was saying, the PC port is pretty solid. There are some installation problems. If you have heard some problems or haven't heard about the problems, I suggest you actually watch the video, which I've linked in the description below this video. And of course, the article for the graphics is there as well. So overall, the port is solid. It runs pretty damn well, of course. We've got a fairly high-end card, so we're okay. But if you've got a lower-end one, as I said before, it's very resource-hungry, so do just keep that in mind. But overall, there's no serious issues, nothing missing from the graphics options that I can think of. It seems pretty well optimized. Just missed my turning. And the keyboard controls are fine. As you probably noticed, I'm using a pad to play this, just because it's my personal preference to actually play the pad on third-person games. I did do a bit of testing with the keyboard controls, and they run absolutely fine. You can, of course, rebind all the keys. As I said, it's just my personal preference to use a keyboard. Sorry, not keyboard, a pad. Alright. So we can go into first person mode.
Hey, what's up, homie? You alright?
You might want to.
Yeah, you thought I was gonna hit your bitch ass, huh? Drunk ass nigga.
You might want to scale back on the drink. Just some friendly advice. So as you can see, sorry, the graphics are pretty nice. There's not a huge amount of difference yet in our testing. As I said, I'm not sure if I mentioned actually, I did do a brief graphics comparison teaser yesterday, and so far it looks like it's mostly in texture detail and lighting and shadows and things like that the difference lies. But of course, I don't want to officially say that just yet. But overall, I'm making a prediction that the main difference for this title is going to be population density. As I said, I haven't actually fully tested it yet, so don't quote me on that, but that's just my prediction. As overall, in the level of detail, there's not a huge amount of difference. It's just draw distance, shadows and lighting and things like that. Obviously, we'll do a full graphics comparison later on. Oh dear. Okay. We're having a lovely discussion about graphics and he starts shooting people. That's not very nice. Alright. Yeah, let's get a gun. Let's also get into cover so we don't get shot. That would be nice. Boom! Ow! Get under... There. Thank you. Oh, no, I didn't mean to pop out like that. There we go. Yeah, in the knee. You didn't like that, did ya? Alright, let's... I think they do now that they've been shooting at them, Brad. I just want to point that out. Alright, let's come out of cover just for the minute. Let's run. Get here and then shoot him in the gut. Lovely. He did a lovely pirouette for us. How nice. How glamorous and graceful. Like a rock dove. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I see him. I already did, bruh. Get with the times. A lot, apparently. Alright, there we go. Lovely. So as you can see, it runs pretty damn solidly, to be honest with you. No major complaints so far, but of course this is early days yet. As I said, don't want to call the graphics just yet, but my prediction is better lighting, textures, sort of detail, draw distance and population density, as I was saying before. Don't really want to talk too much about the game because, well, this is GTA 5. I think you're all well aware of what kind of game it is and whether or not it interests you. So it's more at the PC port. Is it worth buying? The answer is yes. As I said, if you do come across some installation problems, I have already covered it in a video, which I will link in the description below this video. Letting me drive seems poor. Indeed. I am an awful, awful driver. As anyone who's seen me drive in any game ever will testify. Alright, where's he gone? He's gone up this way. Ooh, that was close. Alright, there's a turning... Pin? What's this pin? Pin implies that we didn't do it. Mate, there ain't no blame game when it's obvious that it's your fault. Oh, Christ. I will say I do like the little dynamic Lamar and Franklin. It's quite funny. Alright. Oh, shut up. How dare you criticise my terrible driving? My driving is terrible, but at the same time, it's amazing. Indeed. Use R and LB to shoot. Oh, okay, I see. He's way too ahead now. Alright, let's keep going because he's actually gotten a bit of a lead on us. Yes, I know. Almost got him. Oh, he's wobbling. He's wobbling. I might just run him over, you know. It might be... Really? Might be faster. Sorry, bruh. Really? There we go. I thought I could squeeze through there, obviously not. I should have just run him over, that was my first instinct, but no, I had to try and shoot him while driving. And my driving is awful at the best of times. Where is he? There he is, I see him. Alright. Let's catch up to him. Come here. Nah. Let's do this instead. Will do. Oh, what the... Did you just run me over? I think he just ran me over, slightly. How rude. Alright, I'm not wanted, am I? No, okay. Somehow didn't get any stars in that whole, in that whole thing. Which is good for me, because the police would probably not be my friends right about now. It's just a theory on my part, though. So, would I recommend GTA 5 on the PC? Early impressions say hell to the yeah. Or yes, if you prefer. I certainly do. But I felt like it fit the theme, if you would. So yeah, check it out, guys. We will of course be doing full breakdown of graphics comparisons, probably be looking at shadows, lighting, foliage and all that sort of thing in great detail. As you may have seen before, we actually noticed quite a bit of difference in the foliage density between the PS4 and the Xbox One. So I'm actually really curious to see if there's a difference between the PS4 and the PC versions in terms of foliage density. So there's going to be lots of analysis coming, so don't you worry. That video I did yesterday was just a teaser to whet your appetite, so have no fear. More GTA 5 is coming after this, so... Impotent Rage, yes, I think that fits our good friend Lamar quite nicely. We should get him that as a present. Do you think he'd like that? I do. Alright, we're almost there, which is good. This bike goes at like 2 miles an hour, which is not exactly optimal. Thank you, madam.
Man, I can't hang with your ass for a while, bro. Psychopath. You done finally fucking lost.
Nigga, that's that Apache blood in me, homie. You lucky I ain't do a flying tomahawk and scalp they motherfucking ass.
We can't repo the assets of a dead man, big sitting chief asshole.
Nigga, and we ain't going to neither, nigga. I'm gonna keep this motherfucker for myself. Tell Simeon we couldn't recover.
I'm sure that'll go swimmingly. He seemed...
Fucking tell him, you fucking moron.
That seems he seems exactly the sort of man who will stand for that kind of excuse. Boom. I meant to expand. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Alright. Let's get to Simeon, and then I think we'll call it for this early impressions of GTA 5. As I said, many more impressions stuff inbound. But early impressions are looking pretty damn good for the PC version. So it might have actually been worth the... But damn! Could you not see I was driving directly towards you? You're lucky I'm not in one of my homicidal moods, bruh. Just saying. Alright, let's go see what Simeon's doing with himself. So, there we have it. I think that's a good place to call the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the graphics comparison. Bye for now.